research has said, like, I'm going to just ask you a few questions because you're therapists, right? So what exactly is peak performance for you when we are talking about conscious level peak performance? Anybody? Peak performance at the conscious level, what is it for you? You must have defined it for yourself, right? So this is the peak performance that I want to be at. For example, she's a golfer. So she has few targets when she's playing. She knows that, this would be my peak performance and I would, drive myself to that. Similarly, we are in our therapy modalities and stuff. So there's a peak performance that we would like to achieve. So anybody has that in mind?
Really serve the purpose for which the client has reached me.
So the purpose for which the client has reached me, that becomes her peak performance. That she
So
wants
is
to resolve
it
issues.
the present performance, Rija, or is it the thought or what
Overall, whatever
we
comes to you
aim
when I
to?
say peak performance
So
to the
well I
client,
say when my client wakes up and gives me the most positive feedback is my peak performance.
So client's feedback. What else?
So I think it's more that I feel that it's another peak performance. My peak performance has come when the person actually understands, the client understands where the issue is and is able to understand now further take forward.
Exactly. So what exactly do you think drives this peak performance directly? Isn't it behavior?
Yes.
The behavior that we exhibit, the behavior that we are able to change. So we are working with behavioral level. The conscious level, as we come down and we trickle down, it is the behavior that we are working on directly, which is very conscious. But where is it coming from? How is the behavior being triggered? I think it's known to all of us. What is it that triggers your behavior or the client's behavior? What is it that you work on?
The belief system.
The belief systems which are coming from
Your
Thought process.
upbringing, your
Exactly.
Thought process.
life.
So beliefs are basically a part of thought process, right?
Yeah.
Which is again at the conscious level. So we know the thought process is what we finally change. We bring them, we do the culmination, we do the closure at the conscious level. We take them to the unconscious level, but we do the closure at the behavioral level, at the thought process level. Where do you think the thought process gets triggered?
When it does not work the way we decide that
No,
with the
thought processes आते कहाँ से हैं?
Okay.
कहाँ से?
Oh.
How do they emerge?
From beliefs.
no.
Means are concrete structures or clusters of thoughts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're clusters of thoughts, the part of thoughts. But where do they come from?
When we get inspired by certain things.
Are inspired by certain things or sad by some certain
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So what is it? The feelings.
The feelings,
Not
yes.
the bigger emotion. The feelings
The
that
feelings,
we are
yeah.
constantly like right now. What did we feel? We were suddenly too comfortable. Some people were not even liking why not she wants us to wake, get up, and that was the expression. And then suddenly we were dancing. Thanks to Ritu, she literally put us across the room and made them princesses. So the feelings, the feelings drive us a lot. The moment you change the feelings, your thoughts and behavior changes.
Yes.
Right? And this feeling is coming from a bigger cluster. And what's that?
Experience?
Like feelings, if I say feelings are the waves,
Yeah.
what is driving the wave? What is the river? What is the sea? Emotions. Exactly. So this is emotions. My major work is emotional intelligence and emotions. And that is why I got into NLP, because I was an extremely emotional person. Still am. So the emotions drive your feelings, they drive your thoughts, your beliefs, your behavior, and finally you are performing or you're not performing. That's how it is. But you know what is guiding emotions? Something which is very accessible to us. Something we did just right now. Something which is that simple. जहाँ जनरल एनेस्थीसिया नहीं देना है ना, लोकल एनेस्थीसिया से काम चलता है ना, वहाँ जनरल एनेस्थीसिया की दरकार नहीं है. So we as therapists should know if local anesthesia is given, is going to work on a teeth, general anesthesia की दरकार नहीं है. So NLP works in that way. So what is emotion? Anybody? What exactly is emotion? What cluster? What is it? Emotion?
Energy, emotion.
Perfect. So it's the energy. Energy which is in motion. And from where is this energy coming? How do you experience energy in this realm?
From people outside us, the energy fields around us.
Experience.
From every cell in a body and
In the body cells.
Cells, heat, the energy,
Heat,
the
yeah.
world, the physiology. Right? So it's that simple. It's the physiology. So sometimes when you change the physiology, simply changing the physiology can change the entire behavior and lead you to peak performance. Now we spoke about that archer and the story of the archer. Did we speak here? Or? No. Okay. So there's this archer who was like, ma'am, the archer who would do everything perfectly. And the students would be like awed. How does he do it? And there was this particular very ambitious student who came to him and said, I want to learn it. Please join in and sit. But he would just go on doing it. You know, his darts would hit the bullseye, and this guy was like clueless. He doesn't give an instruction sheet. He doesn't tell me what to do. How am I supposed to do it? The archer kept saying, he said, teach me, he would say, watch me. Teach me, watch me. That was going on and on. And then what happened? Finally, this one lost his patience. His emotion was flying all everywhere. And he went to him and said, I'm leaving. He said, why? He doesn't even react when I'm saying I'm leaving. He said, just go. And then he said, no, I take this as a challenge. You do it one more time and I'm going to do it. Archer again picked up the whole thing and, hit the bullseye. This time when he did it, it was exactly the bullseye. So what do you think happened to him? What did he do?
awareness.
No, I get we started working on a subconscious level and he started looking at the teacher, and that's how he could do that.
He simply watched him, and since he knew it was the last time, and there was the emotion along with it,
With the feeling.
the feeling,
So
the
he-
emotional trigger and
Yeah.
the physiology
Yeah.
worked in his favor, and he could exactly mirror him.
And he,
the
yeah.
bullseye.
So the mirroring process happened.
The mirroring process happened,
Yeah.
and the physiology made the difference along with the emotions. So what is unconscious mind? Now that everybody knows here. What is it? Because we're going to do a 6-step reframing.
Something what we
Which will
just,
work with all of this.
Something what we just take it unconsciously, like
What is unconscious mind?
while we are even speaking, we keep grabbing things in our head. We keep downloading it.
Perfect.
And we keep working at
How
it
would
all
you
the
define to a layperson, beta ye unconscious mind hai? How would you define? Come on, therapist.
It's in a more or less an automated zone
It's-
because
yeah.
beliefs and perception which are
Yes,
connected in us.
very, very apt and appropriate. But do you think a layperson can understand?
Okay, so an unconscious mind is like a sponge which is lying there, and without your even knowing it, it is absorbing the the moisture of the air and everything. So it is something which is still there, and it is subconsciously absorbing things around you
And
and
how is it
following
affecting?
things. It is not. It is affecting us in the manner that it is making.
No,
us
it's
change.
affecting us in our work, in our speech, in
Yeah,
the way we
in our
talk and
reflection, in our
behavior.
words, your
Behavior.
Gets
Yes,
reflected in work
metaphorically,
behavior.
perfect explanation, I would say, that anybody can understand. Yes, we are absorbing a lot of information around us. Literally 2 billion informations given every day,
Second, every minute.
second, right? Every minute. And we are absorbing a lot. We are filtering, deleting. Everything is happening within our mind. We know this is a complex system. But an unconscious mind, to us, when we've done inner child, we know that it's the 4 to 6 year old little kid sitting inside us.
Yeah.
And that little kid is directing you what is supposed to be happening, right? And he only understands in symbols and very easy languages. He wouldn't understand no and don't. We know all that, right?
Yeah.
So whatever instruction you are giving him is literally set. So if you've given in the instruction that I hate to sit in a particular style or in a particular way, or somebody was saying I don't like to do dishes, or something, it's all the unconscious mind working. All these beliefs and all these triggers are coming from there. So no matter how much we do, we have to work with this unconscious mind, which understands these. So you have to come to these 2 words. How do we change it? Now, how do we change the programming of this little kid? It's definitely, we are inner child, we have so many modalities. But at a conscious level, when you're talking one-on-one, or when you're with the person, how would you change it? So what is submodality? Ma'am must have discussed submodalities as we were. So what are the submodalities? How we sense this physical world, physiology as we're talking about? So how do you sense the physical world? By our senses. Sub-modalities is nothing but how we feel the physical world and how we can change these sub-modalities to, increasing it or decreasing it to experience the world in a different way. And what exactly we are doing, we are telling the little kid, oh, this is so exciting, like we were mirroring and we were feeling it. Did you feel that joy?
Yeah.
What we were doing, we were simply mirroring.
Yeah.
When she said pain, I actually felt pain. That time, right? So you can actually give pain also to the unconscious mind by saying that word. Because literally it makes it real for you. Because it has associations and it brings it back to you. So simply, submodalities are nothing but making it know physically, wow factor has to come in. Physically, the yes has to come in, and that's submodality. So we do it through smells and tastes and sounds and visuals and stuff like that. So we make it very visual for that little kid. Because how we train the children is how we train our unconscious mind. And meta. What is meta for you? Now this is for the kid. And what is meta? What is meta? Beyond the physical realm is meta. Anything which is beyond physical.
Which we cannot see it.
Right? So we literally have two places where we work in NLP. One is the physiology, which will change the ultimate behavior and the ultimate peak performance, whatever you want to achieve. One is the meta positioning. Be it meta questioning, be it meta positioning, be it meta modeling, which is nothing but a habit pattern. Anything which is to be beyond the physical realm or beyond existence. So that is meta positioning, right? Now what we are going to do is, I want you all to stand up. Through the physical body, we are going to access our meta positions and meta conditioning of the subconscious and the unconscious. So we are going to do a little conversation with our inner child, or you can say the unconscious mind, that little sponge, as she says, which is lying there absorbing everything, right? And it doesn't even know what's right and what's wrong. It just absorbs, it just learns. So now we're going to do some conversations. We close our eyes. And we'll ask some very generic questions of which you know the answers are yes or no. But your body will tell you whether it's yes or no. We've done it with Ma'am also various times.
Yeah.
So right, so all you have to do is get your yeses and get your nos. So, are we in Rishikesh?
Yes.
So I just close your eyes and let your body answer and you will not answer. Okay? As if I'm only talking to your unconscious mind. And you are just in your meta state. Seat yourself there, up there. And let that unconscious mind emerge. Fully taking you on. As if it's not you, it's that little one. Absorbing everything, programming everything for you. And not really knowing what's right or what's wrong.